This is the three-time Impact Wrestling X Division champion, the newest member of Bullet Club. I am the inevitable Ace Austin. And right now I want you to check out something on YouTube for me. If you're looking for some wrestling content on YouTube, go ahead and head over to the Nation Network. All right, they got some old school, they got some new school, and I'm willing to bet, chances are they've got something that you'll like. And that is inevitable.
You're watching the Nation Network with your host, Vince McSham. There we go. Hey, it's been a minute. Give me a second. I got to get familiar with all my buttons and shit again. Welcome, everybody. This is the Nation Network, and it's been a minute, but we're going to come back to you with some more WrestleChat, and that's where we basically talk about shit that's related to, you guessed it, wrestling. Joining me here, as always, I am so unprepared. Let's try that and see if that works. There it goes. The one, the only, J-Rocks. There we go. Say hi, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Damn, somebody been like going Norelco on me.
I lost my mind the other day. So
Ain't all you lost.
nope, I got rid of it all.
Well, damn, son, you're gonna have to start talking different now.
Just might.
Oh, lordy, Lord. Well, a couple of things in particular I want to talk about. I wanted to touch on something early, though, that we talked about in one of our, it wasn't WrestleChat, it was just some other, I think it was one of the videos where I was creating one of the wrestlers for the game, and talked about some guys that gave me shit about the fact that the Jungle Boy spot was such a stupid idea. And one of the things they'd call me out on saying is, oh, he's just regurgitating Jim Cornette. And I had not heard Jim Cornette's opinion on that yet until this morning. And he didn't talk about just that spot. He talked about the whole match, which I have not seen because I don't watch AEW. That said, everything he said about that match, and I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen parts of it, but like you, right now I'm over wrestling. So,
well, so apparently Roosh went into business for himself, and he knows. So first off, this is how long I've been out of AEW, but this is also why I'm out of AEW. I like Jack Perry. I think he's a talented kid. I think if he can get the fuck over to WWE, they can turn him into something, but there won't be much of him left soon, so it won't matter. I mean, they did something with a one-legged wrestler, but I think if you're a quadriplegic, they're probably going to have to draw the line.
Yeah. Zach was a special case, so.
He sure was. But he also didn't go jumping and dropping on his head either, so he had a little bit more common sense.
Right.
But somehow, Jack Perry, who I like as a talent, but in no way, shape, or form, should be competing for the World Heavyweight title. And if he is, it says a lot about your promotion.
Right.
Not to say he can never get there. He ain't there yet. And granted, it's a four-way match from what I'm hearing, so it's not like he's going to win it. But that's not the point. The point is, if he's in your top four, you're just, with the roster they have, the money they have, I understand if you're like in a different level financially. But for him to be competing for an opportunity at the world title, I don't feel it. I just, he ain't that person yet.
No, and I get wanting to push your younger talent, but you've also got to make sure that one, they're ready for that spot, and two, the fans are going to accept them in that spot.
Yeah. And so we were talking about that spot in particular. Well, I'm going to probably end up watching this match later on just because of what Cornette said about it. But Roosh apparently wasn't happy that he had a job to him, and he no-sold the shit out of it. He did a Bruiser Brody Lex Luger, no-sold everything. Had him, he went for a pinfall by putting his foot on his chest, got a 2 count on a guy that you're trying to legitimize as a possible world champion.
Right.
I just don't get, and Cornette's point, now again, I have not watched the match yet, but I believe everything he said is what happened. He takes meticulous notes. He says if that shit would have happened in the 80s, that motherfucker would have got back there, his bags would have been out in the rain, and they'd have kicked his ass to the curb and said, you're fucking fired.
Right.
But
that's what I was
point.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's what I was going to say was that having done this on the independents, if you went into business, and I'll admit it, I did it once in a match. Me and a guy didn't like each other, so we legitimately went into business for ourselves against each other, and we both got fined, and we both got suspended, and we both got, raked over the coals. We were put low man on the totem pole. Yeah, you're right. And Cornette's right. All that shit. If you go, especially in a major promotion like that, dude, he should be fired. If Tony Khan had any balls, he should have fired him right then and there.
So you're saying there's a lack of leadership in AEW?
I mean, I might just be regurgitating what other people say, but for me personally, yeah, there's a lack of leadership in most major promotions right now.
Who else would you say?
Let's see. WWE.
Oh, come on. You can't say they don't have leadership. I mean, you might not agree with it, but let's put it this way. You have the Kenny Omega Moxley match in the steel cage where how Kenny didn't lose his leg is beyond me, okay? And again, I didn't watch the match. I'm looking at the clip right now.
Right.
And he just came off of a year injury. And you're putting him in that spot. You can't do a simple cage-breaking spot properly. WWE does that same spot a couple of times. Nobody's injured. You got Darius. I was bragging about Darius over a year ago when his brother first went down with the first injury, how this kid was fluid and he was amazing and how smooth he moved, this and that. Now he's got a fucked up leg that will never be the same. His in-ring work will never be as good as it was. It can't be with that injury. If he even comes back from it. It's that severe. Why? Not because of an injury that happened in wrestling and, it's not ballet and blah, blah, blah. No, because you have no one there to say, you're not going to do that fucking spot. And they wouldn't do that shit in WWE. Why is no one's leg snapping in WWE on live TV? Why are they not getting stuck in the cage on their way through the fucking wall? Why are they not dropped on the top of their head coming off the goddamn apron?
Well, first you got to have longer than a 4-minute match. So there's that. And then two, I mean, I like high spots, but there's a time and a place, like pay-per-views and special, not every single day. And that's the problem I have with AEW. It's like there's a time and a place for everything. ECW, a lot of people gave them shit back in the day for all the blood and guts. But
they had to. There's the difference. Like this character a week ago was calling me out and throwing ECW in there. They had no choice. They were going against two monster companies. They had to be different. They had to run those risks that the other guys weren't going to do. And eventually they ended up having to now to compete with ECW because they were taking away some of their audience and some of their buy rate.
But I mean, you can't just. I think that's sometimes why I like watching New Japan and stuff like that, because yes, they have their bloody matches. Yes, they have but there's a reason behind it. It's not just for the shock value. It fits into the storylines and it's appropriate for what they're doing. It's not just there because, hey, I want to jump off the top rope and try to put somebody with a hurricanrana through 4 tables on the outside, and oh look, my leg got caught and now it's broken in 12 different fucking places, and I may never be able to wrestle again. But was it worth it? God, I sure hope your contract says it was.
Yeah, so there's that. Anyway, right there, you've got 3 guys in less than 3 months. With Darius, what almost happened to Kenny? I mean, did he get hurt with that cage thing with his leg getting trapped?
No, he was lucky he didn't. He could.
No
I mean,
shit.
because
It's
I
on
was
loop,
the,
and
I
I'm
was
just
the same
thinking
way.
about
I watched that clip and I'm going. I felt it in my groin. I'm just like, dude,
yeah.
how could you were,
And Kenny's not a young boy.
No.
That whatever. I mean, I just you've just done so much damage to Darius. You damn near killed Jungle Boy. And again, if it was Roosh going into business for himself, Cornette makes a really good point on why it would have to be that.
Right.
Then if this guy's ever on TV again, or even in a show again for them, how does anyone working under that banner have respect for the ownership? They don't have my back. They're not protecting me. They don't value me.
Was this on AEW Dynamite?
I have no idea.
I'm just wondering because I thought Roosh was ROH, and if you got your brand split, why is he on Dynamite going against?
It was definitely one of the AEW shows.
Okay.
Where everyone has the all new banners and shit with that neon look to it.
Okay. All right.
But like I said, I don't watch it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear from some people here. D-Train, always good to hear from you too, buddy. Andrew says, what's up, Jay?
What's up, Andrew?
We got, wait a minute. Yeah, that's our same. I thought we had 2 D-Trains going together here. No, it's the same one.
Yeah.
Hugged him after the match. That's all he does. Yeah. And that was one of the things Cornette said. He said, in another day, another age, and 2 different guys, that shit would have been shoot in the middle of the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Right then and there. He says, but it's Jungle Boy. What's he going to do? And I'm thinking to myself, look, I ain't saying he's put together like Arnold Schwarzenegger or nothing, but he's in shape. He's young. He's athletic.
And Lord knows there's enough chairs around the ring. Go grab a chair. You don't have to be big to take a chair upside somebody's fucking head if they don't play the way they're supposed to.
But I'm looking at Roosh. What is he, 5'5"? He's barely out of the midget league.
Yeah. Yeah. He's wider than Jungle Boy is. That's about it.
He's got some thickness to him, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like Jungle Boy should be able to put up a fight.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. I this is why I won't watch them. This is it in a nutshell. That said, they have a video game coming out on the 29th unless they change the date again.
Wait forever.
Feels like it. So I'm still on the fence on whether I'm going to get the digital version or the hard copy. And if I get the hard copy, I'm going to order it to be shipped, which means it might not get here on the 29th. I don't really give a shit about having it on launch day. It's not that important to me. I do like the fact that that's it. It's the game. There's no bonus edition or deluxe this or that and get this extra crap. This is it. This is the game.
Yep.
So I give him credit for that. From what I've seen, it looks like it should be a decent game. I'm not expecting a miracle.
I have to admit, the graphics were better than what I thought they were going to be.
Yes, definitely better than what they first showed us, and everybody was flipping out. It's like, guys, you realize it's like a year away, and who knew it was going to be more like 2. But at that time, if they'd have had their damn ducks in a row, and again, why is it delayed? Because we didn't have the rights for Fight Forever. You fucking marketed it. You put it on your damn box cover, and you didn't do any friggin' background check to see if there's a trademark? This is AEW. It's a shit show. DHW, you need to buy a vowel. You're missing a letter.
Now, he told me earlier he's dropped the C.
Get the C out.
That's right. And just so everybody knows, over on his promotion, I just won the Fire Diamond Champion. I'm the inaugural champion over there. So
Look at
it
you and your
matches my
Fire Diamond.
Yeah, I know, right?
That any ketamine? What the hell's ketamine? Oh, okay. It's not just me then. Okay. What's up, purist?
Must
We
be
don't
an
know what
Italian
ketamine
thing.
is. If it's something you'd have to smuggle across the border by putting it up your anus, then no, I'm all out. I had some yesterday, but that was the end of it.
Right.
DHW says, I watched the match. It was crazy. What I hear is it was bullshit. And it was
Okay.
Dynamite. So that answers that. What do we got going here? Brett only went after AEW for the trademark. Who's Brett? Is that the owner of whatever backyard?
Yeah,
organization?
GCW. Yeah.
Okay. I know. And that's the other thing, too. Not only does he not check for trademark infringement, at least the WWF got beat by the Panda Corporation. It had some money. It had some stroke. Tony, God knows what he had to fork over to some little promotion that's got what, 200, 300, 400 people on a show?
Right.
It's like, dude, it's embarrassing.
That's why.
Kevin David,
That's what happens when you do everything yourself and you don't delegate responsibility to people.
And you're doing it all after taking a few lines of coke. I mean, I want to see a picture of Tony with his eyes not bugging out like they're about to explode.
Never happened.
Yeah, Kevin brings up.
He looks like a chihuahua with curly hair.
Kevin brings up a really good point, and the one I meant to mention earlier, in regards to Fight Forever, and they showed some screenshots of the extensive blood. I mean, look, we all wanted to see some blood on the mat and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm all for it, but it is so exaggerated. And again, it's a video game, and they're not going for realism. I'm taking all that into consideration. I am sure there's a setting to turn off blood for parents that want that option, but my understanding is even if you choose that, Moxley will still bleed.
It's in his contract.
Yeah, he will bleed no matter what you turn off. Doesn't matter. So you'll definitely have Moxley bleeding in the game. And usually it'll be on the way to the ring.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. No, the exploding barbed wire match is just going to be
sparklers
going off at the end and somebody laying on top of you.
Yeah.
It's in the game. No. Oh, so anyway, there's Fight Forever on the 29th. Hopefully I will get it. And that's the other thing, too. It still isn't available on PSN.
Really?
Yeah. Just announced. No, it was just announced like 5 days ago. What the fuck?
That's all right. On Steam, all it says is coming soon. That's it.
Oh, so only Xbox is able to add. Xbox people have already downloaded the damn game. It's AEW.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that one. All right. Well, that's enough AEW talk because I could fall down that well and be lost for hours. Let's talk about tomorrow. We've got a pretty big event taking place. Oh, before we get to that, I'm still talking about WWE, though. Since the last time we did an actual WrestleChat, it's just been crazy between all the stuff I was creating for the week-to-week shows with the character developments and stuff, and the shows themselves doing 3 a week. I haven't had time for WrestleChat, and then there's work, which has been freaking nightmare. Today was our last day dealing with graduations. We did 29 graduations in 4 days. Yeah, let me tell you how much I am sick of that Macho Man song.
That's true.
6 times a fucking day. And I'm the only one in the back standing up there going, oh, yeah, every time. Oh, so the WWE merged with Endeavor, the parent company of UFC, now valued at over $21 billion. It's going to be interesting to see if that makes any real difference. I don't know what the two, Conor McGregor's a lot of talk about him, and his UFC days got to be done by now, right?
Pretty close, yeah.
I mean, is he not getting his ass kicked by this point in time?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's like a new guy. I just watched him, this past weekend, and they're calling him the new Conor McGregor.
Oh, great, because the last one wasn't bad enough, throwing shit at buses and assaulting people in parking lots.
Well, no, I mean, this is more like his fighting style.
Oh, okay.
He's actually respectful outside of the ring, but he gets in the ring, he fights just like Conor McGregor did. And he's supposed to have a match coming up with Conor McGregor, and I have a feeling this new guy's going to whoop his ass, and that's going to be the end of it for Conor. So,
Roy W., welcome aboard, buddy. Yeah, $21 billion, buddy. So you know that if you need lunch money or something like that, they're good for $5.
I was going to say, if you've watched the last month of television by them, they ain't fucking worth $1 million.
My brother from another mother. What's up, buddy? Yeah, it definitely got old fast. No doubt about that. So anyway, there's that. Let's talk about tomorrow. Where'd it go? The lineup as I see it here. We've got the SmackDown Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley, our defending champion, against Natalya. Does anyone in their right mind think Natalya is going over tomorrow?
Nope.
Okay. I think we can probably all agree on that. I do also think it should be a good match.
If they let them go out and do what they need to do. But then again, they're both going to be wearing those fucked up outfits they always have to wear over there. And I can't imagine having to wear a full bodysuit and wrestle like that.
Not only that, but it's funny you bring that up because they've been posting for like the last 24, 48 hours. A lot of different superstars have been posting all this video of them going out to their city walk area and riding rides and stuff. It's very
I've seen
now.
Those. Yeah.
And they're not wearing burqas and shit like that.
I mean, if they're on their own time, then they can't really, because they're just considered tourists. But once they step in that arena, if they want them to wear that stuff, then they have to wear the stuff to wrestle.
No, but what I'm saying is I thought they had to do that because they're in fucking Saudi Arabia.
This is the first year that they've actually posted anything like this, where them out in public and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe they won't have to wear the stuff, but I really highly doubt it. I'll be surprised if they don't.
I'm more surprised that they're able to walk the streets, is my point. Saudi Arabia has always had this horrific perspective when it comes to women.
Yeah.
So I just didn't think that it was a doable thing to be female and dress casual. I mean, granted, they're not wearing, halter tops and showing their midriffs off and stuff like that. But I was under the impression that you can wear like things like jeans that'll show your curves and things of that nature.
I mean, would you go and tell Rhea Ripley she couldn't wear what she wears?
No, but Scarlett maybe.
I mean, I'm thinking of it like this. Most of the guys that are probably over there and stuff wouldn't have the balls to go up to her and say, you cannot wear that, because she'd whoop their fucking asses.
Well, you would think that about Brittany Griner, too, but they threw her ass in the hole for a while, and her being him, but that's another story.
Well, yeah, but I expected that from Russia. They were looking for a reason, and she gave them one.
You guys should listen to Jim Cornette and Brian Last trying AI. The promos it got. What AI are we talking about?
Right.
Because there's all kinds of shit going on with this friggin' Apparently, there's a lot of people who never saw a fucking Terminator movie.
Skynet.
They've been showing these deep fakes, and we started talking about this for the other channel, which I haven't had time to do anything with that either. You know,
right? I've been waiting.
The over on Rumble. It's not that I gave up on it; I just haven't had a chance to. But we're fucking around with stuff right now that you can make it. They can make it look like I went out and killed someone.
Yeah,
and you'd believe you just saw it on video.
And all they need is a little clip of your voice there, and they'll have the voice right down too.
I'm telling you, it is some really Orwellian bullshit. But anyway, all right, let's stick to wrestling on this channel. It's so easy for me to fall down. All right, so I think it's safe to say Rhea is going to defend and retain. I would like to see it end up, though, with a DQ or a count out, something that will allow it to continue on. Even Natty has her pinned, but the referee's out, and it's clear that Natty would have had her, or she gets her to tap out while the referee's out.
Yeah.
Just something to justify this going a few matches, because I do think they could have really good matches.
And maybe that's what they'll do, is see how well they do with this. And if they can pull off a decent match, they'll probably... Because I can't see anybody else over on SmackDown right now who would be a viable contender.
That's the other thing, too. When are we just going to switch the belts? Because she's a SmackDown champion on Raw.
Yeah. And
the Raw Women's Champion is on SmackDown.
As long as I don't know. I
mean, they've done it before.
Yes, and we saw how that went because Charlotte and Becky couldn't fucking play nice.
Yes, we did. But it made for some interesting storytelling.
Well, yeah, it did. But
well, that leads us to the next women's match. Bianca Belair, the champion, against Asuka. As much as I would look, let's face the facts. Bianca proved in Puerto Rico. Now, granted, she's going up against one of the natives there. She wasn't over. And she hasn't been lately. She's not getting pops like she did. Still a tremendous athlete, great talent, not taking anything away from that. Her time has run its course. You're trying to beat a dead horse at this point. Do they give it to Asuka? They should, but they probably won't.
I think they will, because
I hope you're right.
Because with the rumors I've been hearing, that it would make sense for them to give it to Asuka, because I've heard rumors that here in the next month or so, Bianca and the Street Profits are supposed to all three of them are supposed to go heel.
And Bailey right now is definitely looking like she's going to go babyface. And what better time, because it makes me sad, but Dakota's going to be out for a while. You know, ACL tears, you don't fix those quickly. So Dakota's out. So that takes care of your group. And isn't EO supposed to be running out on her contract any day now? And we know there's firings coming up before the first week of June, I think they said.
Yeah, I was going to watch it. There's a guy I follow on YouTube, and I was going to watch his show. He had something about the firings, and I haven't got a chance to check it out yet. So I did hear that Bray Wyatt is finally gone, though. He is officially gone from WWE.
When did that happen?
Within the last week or so.
Then how's that not been on any of these news things that I watch on a daily? Well, talk about a fart and a bus trip. I mean, they just did nothing at all with that.
Yep.
All of a sudden, he's going to have to say yes to Scott D'Amore. Well, that was a miserably failed experiment there, and I don't even know what to say sometimes when I think about something. You have that kind of talent, and you can't make it work.
Right.
All right, Bianca and Asuka, we're hoping for that title to change. I don't think so, but I hope I'm wrong.
I think, like I said, I think so, and it would be good because Asuka is on Raw, so the title would go back to Raw, and then also EO's on Raw, Io's on Raw, and I'd like to see a match between Asuka and Io like they had back in New Japan.
Oh,
the two of them for the title. Shit, take my money. I'll get that pay-per-view then. I'm not even watching this pay-per-view because there's nothing on it that's going to interest me really.
Tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, son, we're about to get to the good shit.
Nah, because I'll bet you even money I'll be able to predict every single match on the card.
I might also, but at the same time, I expect them to be worth watching. And while I might predict the winners and losers, well, we'll get to some of these matches here in a minute. The how is as important as the what. Yeah, Infrared didn't hear about Bray either. With DLC set to be released. That's how it works. We release you, then we release the DLC.
Right.
Nothing new there. Nothing to see here, folks. So I was starting to say before I forget again, Bayley has been showing signs of babyface big time. And the fans always loved her. I always preferred her with the ponytail and the girl next door look. That's my favorite version of Bayley. And recent house show video was up where she gets dumped outside the ring after losing the match, what have you. And little girls in the front row and holding the camera, videotaping and all that. And I love you, Bayley. I love you. And she's like, thanks, appreciate it. Oh, you got your ponytails like mine and things like that. She's totally out of character playing with the kid. Another shot shows her coming down the aisle towards the ring, signing people's autographs on people's posters and stuff like that. So might as well do it now because Dakota's done for a little bit. And it would be good for Io to break away and do solos now and do her own thing. Because after that match with Bianca, her stock is up.
Yeah.
And Bayley's stock is always up. I mean, she's one of the damn best workers they've had on the roster consistently for the last 5 years.
And I think she's better on her own anyways.
I do too.
I mean, I like the fact that she
have a friendship.
Right. I like the fact that she tried to elevate both Dakota and Io. I get that. But she is better as a solo competitor.
I believe it too. So everyone's asking the same thing, man. What's your source on this Bray Wyatt thing?
I mean, I saw it on a couple different things on Twitter and stuff, and I mean,
oh well, Twitter, for Christ's sake, don't be arguing with him. Then he got it on Twitter.
I never said. I mean, I just said what I heard.
It was real.
Yeah, I just said what I heard.
This is WrestleChat, not WrestleFacts. Okay, don't fuck with us.
Yeah.
The rumor began because he and Howdy wasn't listed on the internal roster. Well, isn't that kind of odd that you're not on the roster if you're on the roster?
Right. And that's what these people said.
Rumors going now, wouldn't it?
Right, and that's what these couple people said. They're like, well, he's not listed anymore. Normally, if you're not listed, you're not part of the company because that roster is those people who are still employed. So, I mean,
got a lot of people going to go with the rumor train, which, hey, we'll see. Purists trying to be funny.
I try not to get on Facebook much anymore.
Does anybody anymore? Man, that is the most dead platform. I think if I went back to my MySpace, it would have more activity. All right, another match for tomorrow. To tell you that I couldn't be... if this match goes more than 3 minutes, somebody fucked up the booking. The Intercontinental Champion Gunther goes up against Mustafa Ali. Now, he's in his backyard, right, Mustafa?
Yeah.
All right, so it won't go 3 minutes. They'll drag it out for 20.
I don't know, because how are you going to give a man a 20-minute match when you buried him on Raw just this week?
Because he's at home, and they won't give a shit about that. I mean, Selena Vega's been buried all over the place, and then she gets in front of Puerto Rico, and it's like the princess has arrived.
Vince will be like, "Nah, go out there, Gunther, chop the shit out of him, and get it over with."
Time will tell. I hope you're right. I look at that match and it reminds me of Kane against Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania 24. And I'm like, God, let this match end quickly. And it was literally a choke slam and over. I was like, thank you. That's exactly the way I wanted that match to go. The thought of watching it was making me cringe. All right. Well, we all know Gunther's not going to lose to Mustafa Ali.
If they do, oh my God.
Is we're gonna do what I used to do with the Tyson fights back when Tyson was Tyson. We all know he's going to win. Now the question is, what round? We used to have to take a deck of cards. We'd all put $5 in the pot, and then we'd all draw a blind from a deck of cards, and whatever number you had is your round. So everybody wanted to get like an ace or a 2 or a 3.
Right, yeah.
And then after that, let's say everybody pulled 5, 7, and 10, then it's the closest one without going over. And if you all went over, then it's the closest one, period. So if it ended in round 3 and the lowest card was a 5, 5 won. So in this case, that reminds me of this match, and I'm thinking Gunther in 5 minutes has to be a quick match.
If it's not, then, and God forbid they do give him the fucking title. Oh my God.
No, they're not. They are absolutely not doing that. Although he's going to have to lose it eventually, right?
Right.
And maybe we're coming up on SummerSlam run. Maybe they want him free to chase after a world champion.
Okay, so give it the title to somebody who has been in the ring with Gunther.
That's a good point, too. Give it to somebody who needs the rub that can do something with it, because Mustafa Ali would be the next Zack Ryder having the title today.
You've got JD McDonough over there. He's just come up. Give it to him.
But you can't put him over Gunther.
Yeah, you can. They did it in NXT UK.
It's a new day, man.
But see the history's there. Same with Dragunov. If they would bring him up and put him against Gunther, I could see him fucking taking it, because I've seen him fight for the world title over there in UK.
Well, like I said, we're going to find out in the near future. Or maybe they're going to have him keep the Intercontinental title to drop it at SummerSlam to somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to use that as a big, blow-off match there. All right, that brings us up to one of the first of 3 main events. Seth Rollins going up against AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship. Don't we already have a World Heavyweight Championship?
No, we got a WWE Universal Championship.
Well, that's one title, was the Universal Champion, and then the World
but
Champion.
Neither one of them are called. Neither one of them were called the World Title. It's the WWE title and the Universal title. And neither one of them are a world title.
Follow along.
Yep.
Anyway, creating a brand new world title does seem stupid as fuck. They should have just taken one of them off Roman. Didn't even have to have him lose. Just turn around and say, we're doing a brand split. Give us the red one. Thank you very much.
Well, like you said, he has to have both titles carrying them around, because God forbid they make it into one fucking title.
And now the thought that he's looking at trying to win the world title as well, to add that to the collection. God forbid.
Wouldn't put it past Vince. Would not put it past
Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. Seth wins. Styles wins. Should be the match of the night.
I agree. It'll be a really good match, but Seth will win it.
Yeah, he's over like he's never been before.
Well, not only that, if they have AJ win it, you either got now the world title on SmackDown, not on Raw where it's supposed to be, or you have to transfer all of the OC back to Raw.
So what they can do, well, they don't necessarily have to bring the whole OC. You don't need to bring the whole OC. Well, yeah, they did it with the draft, which was stupid. First time they've ever done that I'm aware of.
Right.
You used to break teams up that way.
Right.
all these tearful
And
hugs goodbye and shit.
and that's the thing. They hinted at that kind of stuff leading up to the draft, but then they didn't pull the fucking trigger on it.
Well, they pulled the trigger on something, but not the right way.
On the fucking toilet.
All right. Well, I'm going to make my prediction. Seth Rollins is going to be the new world heavyweight champion, even though there's already a world heavyweight champion. But that's another story.
He's not a world champion.
Now,
Neither
again, you're not positive on the outcome of this match, though.
Huh?
You're not positive on the outcome.
Yeah, because two reasons. One, they said that this title was going to be for Raw, so it has to be a Raw superstar that wins it. And two, AJ basically called this a secondary title to Roman Reigns' titles. So I'm not going to give the title to somebody who calls a championship that I just created a secondary title.
Well, I'm sure if he said it was because somebody wrote it for him to say, but okay. I mean, look, I'll be shocked if Seth doesn't, simply because he's so fucking over. It's ridiculous.
Right.
All right. That leads us up to a match that I'm not sure of the outcome of at all. Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes. I feel like Brock realistically wins this one because he lost the last one. He has softened him up. That backstage attack was done really well. That keg to the arm against the roll-up door, very convincing. What do you say?
I say Brock wins only because they're over in Saudi Arabia. But really, I could give a shit less about this match because I haven't cared about it. Really? Yeah, no, I mean,
I like this match. I'm looking forward to this match.
They've made, in my opinion, they've made Cody look weak. And that's really how you want to push him? To make him look like somebody who can't even... Huh?
How do you see him as weak? Because a 300-pound gorilla took a steel drum to his arm?
No, it's just his attitude. How whoever's writing his shit, the words coming out of his mouth isn't him. I can go on to YouTube and find a promo that he did where he used the famous line, "I went from undesirable to ungoddamn deniable." That was a Cody promo. What he's been doing here recently, it's not working. It don't make me feel the things I felt from those promos that he used to do. Even when he first came back to WWE, his promos were 10 times better. This, he just sounds whiny. But I mean, it's my opinion. Yeah, and other people.
And you're not the only one who said something to that effect. Even Cornette has complained about the whole, the fact that he keeps on hearkening back to the fact that I lost my match at WrestleMania. It's like, let it the fuck go.
Yeah.
Which I get. And then there's the other side of the coin where they don't want you to forget that because that's what's continuing the chase and that's what's going to have the payoff at the next WrestleMania at the rate things are going. And hopefully he doesn't tear a pec the day before because that would be the fucking luck.
But I guess, and that I think that's the other thing that bothers me about this situation too, is that, okay, he's got a broken arm now. So now we have to play up like I can't go into a major match without an injury and overcome that way because I did it with a torn pec at Hell in a Cell against Rollins.
Against Seth Rollins.
Right, but what I'm saying
is a legitimate beast, former UFC world champion for real. There's a believability with him. What he fucking did to his own damn head in the last match.
Right, but what I'm saying is, why does he have to be hurt to go into a match like this? Why does he have to go into a match injured? Why
know that? Because it makes him weak, but not weak. It makes him hurt, injured, not at 100%, but not weak because he's a pussy or he just sucks. He's going to try and, like he did with what he did with Seth, you're going to try and overcome. Now, in that case, that was fucking real as it gets.
Yeah.
But because you have that history with this guy, you can pull it off. And I'll tell you the thing I thought they did beyond brilliantly was their last promo on Raw between him and Triple H. Did you see it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I thought that was absolutely perfect.
Why?
When do you see what COO? Is that what he is?
Yeah.
They've flipped initials lately, and then Vince is back and initials go away, so who knows fucking knows who's what anymore. Anyway, when do you see the number 1.5 or the number 2.5 guy come to the locker room, sit down, and have this almost brotherly conversation? Like you were saying before, it didn't sound like Cody. It sure as hell did in the locker room. I felt it did. And Trips did the perfect, when Cody says, "What would you do?" We know the answer. And he's done it. Tearing pecs. And remember when he was in Saudi Arabia, tore his tricep, was it?
Yeah.
Going over the top rope in the first 2 minutes of the fucking match.
Right.
So that, again, pulling back on history and tying storylines together, and it can only work if it's Triple H because he does have that. And in Saudi Arabia, just for the cherry on the cake. I thought every bit and then at the end when he just kind of like pats him on the knee and doesn't say another word and just walks out, and then Cody gives that look after. Dude, it's like there's this it reminded me of what I've always said is the best promo of all time. And that was The Undertaker and Triple H before their first WrestleMania match, where The Undertaker had been gone for a while, comes in the ring, the WrestleMania banner's in the background. They don't say a word. They never say a word. Taker just looks beyond Triple H up at the banner and does the throat cut. Triple H looks at the banner and does the crotch chop, and that's the whole promo. And it was brilliant. And that is what I was reminded of, especially in that last 20 seconds. I thought that was so well done.
But see, you didn't mention the one thing that stuck out to me in that promo in those last 20 seconds. When Cody looked down for a second, the smirk that came across Triple H's face, to me, that tells me Triple H is the one who sent Brock after Cody, and they're building up to a fight between Triple H and Brock, or Triple H and Cody. Because if they're going to pull history, let's pull history and have Triple H be all pissed off because of what Cody's done to the whole the sledgehammer to the throne and all that kind of stuff. If that's going to be the reason, the payoff for why all this has happened, okay, I can get behind that. But if it's not, then to me, all of this has been pointless.
Well, I mean, when we say Triple H against Cody, Triple H certainly never getting in a ring again.
No, but Triple H being the main reason that all this has happened.
Okay. Now, Nacho Man, I'll admit, I think I fast forwarded 90% of Raw. Just because I didn't care about the other matches I saw there. I just didn't give a shit about any of them, and I fast forwarded through them. So whether or not there were any good matches there or not, I can't tell you because I literally stopped for the Cody beatdown, which was right in the beginning. Then this post, then Brock came out and challenged anyone. And of course, Cody with his arm in a sling came out. So I watched that, and then that ending thing. And there might have been maybe one of the girls' matches or something that I stopped and watched. But other than that, and well, we already know that I'm not going to watch AEW, so I got nothing on that. The first match was WrestleMania 17. So this would have been Monday Night Raw about 4 weeks or 5 weeks ahead of that. But it was such a great promo. Always going to go down as my favorite. Triple H has a device smack dab in the middle of his chest, won't it? Well, yeah, back to the point. And for Red, he wasn't discussing him getting in the ring. Which we know. Sadly, it'll never happen. Was that his last match? The one in where he tore it was his bicep, I think he tore.
I think it was.
Yeah, I don't think I'm trying to remember. He might have done a Monday Night Raw anniversary show or some shit. That's something worth looking up. D-Train, you
Yeah.
know every damn thing. What was his last match? Actually, I take it back. I think I remember him saying he had done a house show somewhere.
Oh, he might have.
It's that, or I'm confusing him with somebody else. Oh, and by the way, Hulk Hogan wants to have one last match. Damn it, Ric Flair! You see what you started?
Yep. And I follow Iron Sheik on Twitter, and he's like, he basically said if Hogan wants a last match, he'll be glad to do it, and he'll beat the shit out of that jabroni.
The Sheik is barely alive right now. I saw that. You son of a bitch, you owe me everything,
Yeah.
you jabroni. And I'm thinking to myself, geez, who propped him up in bed long enough to type that much? Well, I'm going to go with Lesnar getting the win to even it up and force a third match, and then Cody can win that one and move on to hopefully a world title match. I don't know.
Which the third one would be Money in the Bank then. Because that's the next pay-per-view after this.
I feel like that would be a SummerSlam payoff. Plus, Brock ain't wrestling twice in the same 2 months.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying if you're going to do it.
Doesn't have to be successive. You don't have to have them in a row.
And you're not afraid that it'll cool off before SummerSlam?
With Brock? Nothing cools off with Brock. All right, so imagine this. He gets the win barely. The way Cody got the win barely. Then after the match, he wants to put the fucker away so that there's never going to be another one. And picks up a chair or whatever the fuck, the stairs, I don't know, the ring, puts it over his head. And Cody comes out and kicks him in the knee, drops the ring on top of Brock Lesnar's head. And at the end of the day, he gets to walk out. I might have lost, but you're the one under the ring right now. So Brock still gets that win. Cody walks away at the end, and Brock takes 2 months to get out from under the ring, which is about the way he generally wrestles nowadays.
Yeah.
And of course, like 3 weeks before SummerSlam, he'll just show up randomly on Raw from the crowd and attack Cody, and we'll do it all over again.
So for that time, is Cody's arm going to be in a sling, or is it going to be in a cast?
No, he'll
Is
be
he
taking
gonna wrestle?
He'll be taking on Gunther or something like that in the meantime.
But his arm's broke. He can't wrestle with it broke.
Yeah, there's doctors, man. They fixed that shit. Jerry Lawler was dead. Give me a break.
We saw the last time people had casts on. They jumped. Orton tries to jump off the top rope and hits his own partner in the back of the head with a cast and shit. All that,
I was just going to say, I don't want to hear about wrestling with a cast. Bob Orton did a pretty good job of it. All right, here's a match. I mean, look, I know the outcome, although wouldn't surprise me if I'm wrong. The WWE Tag Team Championship on the line. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. As much as Sami and Kevin are going to win this match, and by the way, Sami and Saudi,
Yeah, I never thought I'd see
how
it either.
that's going to be received.
I'm surprised he went, honestly. He's fought it all these years.
Yeah. And I wonder how much. There had to be I mean, you just know he's like, fucking open your wallet, man.
Yep.
So Kevin Owens, and Sami have to win. I can't imagine them not. Well, they don't have to win. They have to leave with the titles. I see them winning, and I see the Usos not watching from home. Do they officially turn on Roman in Saudi Arabia? I feel like no, not yet. I think if that happens, it would make more sense on the 1,000th day of the title reign.
I think what it's going to be is they're going to show up and they're going to cost Roman, and Solo the match by trying to help and it not working out. That way, when we get to Raw or SmackDown afterwards, he can go and try to pie face him again, and that's when the shit will blow up.
Overwhelmingly, everyone's pretty much saying the same thing. Sammy and Kevin walk out with the titles.
Right.
Little bit of difference in how they think it's going to take place. Solo to turn on Roman. They did have that little moment at the end in SmackDown last week
where he inadvertently shoulder checked Solo, and you saw that look come across his face.
And then he and he couldn't handle it no more, and he walked out. Yeah, it'd be interesting. And again, this is so while I have no doubt the titles will not change hands, I don't know how they don't. I know they don't. I just don't know how they don't, and that's what I'm watching for.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have the actual blow up till after the pay-per-view. Maybe
not the blow up, but we're gonna have a history-making moment in the story.
Well, like I said, I personally think that they'll say we were trying to help you, and he's going to say you cost me the title, and that's when the shit will go down.
Pure is predicting the Usos will turn on Roman in Saudi Arabia. I seriously doubt it, but
all right,
stranger shit.
If they actually do it there, I'll be really surprised. I really will.
Lenny's in the house. And that is the complete card. Again, I am definitely looking forward to those three main events, all three of them. I am looking forward to Rhea's match, even though I know she's going to win it. I think it's going to be a really good match. I will probably do everything I can to disappear long enough not to watch Gunther and Mustafa Ali. Since I'll be at work, that won't be too hard. I'll just go and do some rounds and check on shit, and then I'll come back. It's done. I love the fucking 1 o'clock start time. Let me just say how much I love a matinee pay-per-view with matches lined up this good. And I'll still have the rest of the day available. Nah, fuck Rampage. I wouldn't know about Rampage. Rampage don't do nothing for me. All right. Well, hey, we hit the 1 hour mark too. I love that. That's my target, man. Well, I like that 1 hour mark. We gonna probably be wrapping it up here now in just a second or two, and I'm gonna try. I don't know if I'll be able to make it tonight or not, but the plan is to maybe do a 2K show here. I got stuff I gotta do first. It doesn't get too late. What's we at now? 6:30? Is that what it says? 6:30. If I can get us up and running by 7, it'll be close. And yeah, the first show on the In the meantime, I want to thank you guys for joining us. As always, appreciate you very much. We'll be back with some more WrestleChat in the not too distant future. In the meantime, it's time to get up and get out of here. Say good night, Jay.
Good night, Jay.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time for some more WrestleChat. Enjoy the show tomorrow.